Hi, my name is Miel Arredondo and I am from Turtle Island. I'm from the other side of the ocean and I'm reaching out to folks in support of King Khoi San. The pleasure of meeting King Khoi San in an encounter meant to empower vision and transformation through my church group, Pachamama Native American Church. Through that group and other activities, I find myself with a true open heart for the King's occupation, for his people at the Union Building. As a person that has worked with herbs and plant medicines and seeing the growing economies and the freedoms and liberations that are taking place across Turtle Island with the freedom for the plants, I'm impressed with King Khoi San's commitment to be an occupation and also his commitment to plant medicines from the healing wisdom that his culture possesses. My home base in Turtle Island has been in the heartlands in a state called Minnesota Makoche, known as Minnesota. And there we had a lot of experience seeing the First Nations populations rise up in their empowerment. So in this way, King Khoi San asked for folks that knew of him and his efforts and his activism to come out and voice their support. And as you may be aware, he's going through eviction at the Union Building and that there will be a protest to push back on that action and to really think about the histories that led to this moment where it takes someone like King Khoi San and his community to take an active stand and, to put it this way, live outside a comfort zone to keep visibility for the rights that the communities are asking for. The cultural wisdom that's possessed in terms of economy, agriculture, and the healing in terms of healing concepts like reciprocity, sustainability. Those are all gifts that I've seen the First Nations communities be able to rebuild their communities and then teach and share and offer forward to those interested. And there's a big movement where we consider ourselves allies. And it's a political term, and one part of allyship is being available to center the concerns of your nation's indigenous folks and really take a look at how the communities are faring and what rights they have. I see a lot of parallels between the struggles of resistance, and I really support King Khoi San's occupation at the Union Building because I've been in a cross comparison how the resistance movements in the United States or Turtle Island have been successful. And one of the main points of success are the people coming together to center the voice of the indigenous, because truly the changes that we're looking to make to have an equitable world, to have a self-sustaining world, to have a world that's turning around from collapse. We can emerge from collapse, but we're not able to do it unless we have our First Nations front and center. Because in my book, they carry the wisdom points through their cultural survival and the wisdom points and the leadership to be able to navigate the next steps of moving beyond a world that's extracted from to a world that we are in reciprocity with. I think it's a desire for a lot of folks in South Africa to see the government to actually meet the people where they're at and start to create a new paradigm. The Khoi San to be recognized as a First Nations, to have rights, an ability to begin to look at reparations, to come back into land ownership so that they can, from their land base, again, create greater prosperity. What that would look like if folks in South Africa united behind that. I know for some folks, it's extreme to see someone living outside their comfort zone in active resistance at the Union Building. And for some, I can totally identify because there have been resistance movements in the heartlands around the pipelines where oil companies have put trajectories through native lands and seen the native communities rise up in resistance. And I've had some of that personal fear. What would it mean to show up into a setting like that? Would I be accepted? Would I be safe? And what I found through doing sacred water walking and prayer work with the Anishinaabe Nation, encountering the pipeline resistance camps, it was really different than I thought it would be. And it was really beautiful and liberating and empowering. So for folks that haven't had the experience of showing up to support First Nations in a protest, I just want to confirm that it's an experience that there's, you can lose a lot of fear around just by showing up and seeing what it's about. And you can have a lot of learning and also connect with people. For folks that are thinking about it but hesitant, go. And for folks that can't make it, and even folks who can, there's so many ways that you can support. You can give donations, you can give fiscal support, you can get out the message, and also support with transportation. So there's a number of ways to be involved that can meet you where you're at. I really encourage you to do so. And past the date of this incident with the eviction from the Union building, continuing to listen to King Khoi San and his people and the other activists and allies involved, in what ways that you can help create momentum. Because my personal political activism has proven to me that we can put pressure on our political leaders to make the changes that we want to see, because our political leaders are representatives of the public. And if we put that pressure and we let them know that what is going on is not acceptable and we need to see the changes, it's really, from my perspective, the political pressure for where you give your yes and who you give your yes to, there is still power in that. I wish everyone all the best. My prayers of support are for King Khoi San and his people, for their complete recognition of their cultural heritage and gifts, for the complete restoration of equity, and the continued possibility for a united South Africa that can become a leader in the dial, turning the dial forward on the changes that are impending for many peoples across the globe at this time. So with all my love, we like to say, one heart. From my heart to your heart, please do what you can at this time.